This is the first day of my life. Swear I was born right in the doorway. I went out in the rain, suddenly everything changed. They're spreading blankets on the beach. Yours is the first face that I saw. I think I was blind before I met you. And I don't know where I am, I don't know where I've been, but I know where I want to go. And so I thought I'd let you know. Yeah, these things take forever, I especially am slow. But I realized that I need you, and I wondered if I could come home. Remember the time you drove all night just to meet me in the morning? And I thought it was strange, you said everything changed. You felt as if you just woke up. And you said, this is the first day of my life. I'm glad I didn't die before I met you. But now I don't care, I could go anywhere with you, and I'd probably be happy. So if you wanna be with me, if these things there's no telling, we just have to wait and see. But I'd rather be working.
I am current co-president of the Eyelounge. This is my third year. I joined the Eyelounge because I am a commercial photographer and I don't know a lot about the artist community. And this space was recommended to me by a friend, and after researching other places around town, this was easily the place I wanted to be. And being here, I've learned so much about showing my work, what it means putting artwork together, making a room flow, which of my work to show. It's been very educational in the art community, working with a group, understanding artist needs and what it takes to put together an exhibit.
My name is Peter Bugg, and I am also the current co-president along with Jason. I've been here for roughly 18 months, I suppose, and I joined. I had friends who were in the cooperative, and I thought that they really had gotten a lot out of it. I enjoyed seeing their shows. It gave them a chance to show their work to other people, and I wanted something to give myself deadlines and also just get the experience. Like most other things, you learn a lot by practice in making work and showing it, and that last 10% of putting it on the walls and putting labels next to it and inviting people to your show is something that you don't get a lot of practice with in graduate school, and so I wanted to have that here. And I'm
Carolyn Lavender, and I was there in the beginning, which was great. I was in the room when we brainstormed the name and when we talked about possibilities and tried to decide what it would look like to be a gallery or whatever. We weren't even completely sure if we would have a physical space or what we would try to accomplish. So it's been really educational to see where it turned out.
It's Christopher Jagman, and I've been with the Eyelounge a little over 2 years, and I'll have my third show and final show in a few months. I moved to Phoenix about 8 years ago, and after living in Boston, where I had a great community of artist friends and a good support group, and I really was lost when I moved here. I'd been to the Eyelounge for a few shows, and I was watching downtown kind of develop it.
And certainly when we have our meetings and we're proposing new ideas, and you find out very quickly who has a business mind. You know, if we're getting a lot of artists together, and you've got one person who's got a little bit of a business edge and some experience with something. It's very helpful. You can find out what's realistic and who might be the proper channels to research, you know, getting funds for something else, or you know, what legal issues do we need to cover to get new stairs put in a room, and So certainly having the group to work with is pulling all of our resources together and knowledge together.
We have 3 different galleries. The one that we're sitting in right now is the East Gallery, and then the one that you walk into is the West Gallery, and those are the 2 main. The Artist Corps members get first choice of both of these, and then in the back room we have what's called the project room that's attached to this gallery, and whoever is showing in this gallery gets right of first refusal. But if they don't want to use it, then that one can get rented out to anybody who's interested in doing something in there. And so we've had people who are interested in showing at Eyelounge but wanted to get a little bit of practice first and show their work to the other members, and we've had people who have brought in work from far and away. And
to have 22 artists to fill every single month, one person in each space, and then the project room is extra. But sometimes you don't have, and then that creates room for exchange shows or ASU doing a project. But you try to fill the roster if you can, because that pays the dues better.
And the reason that it's 22 is so that every person will get a solo show in either this gallery or the other gallery once a year, and then in March we have the Art Detour show.
And I think helped really immerse me in a community. And we've always had a community here in Phoenix, and the people that came before us were great, and I give them all the credit that they deserve. But I think that we also helped create a really bonded group of people. A friend of mine who, after grad school, moved to New York City and then to Brooklyn, and she's doing really, really well. She was just in town, and she emailed me with such enthusiasm. She said that she couldn't believe how great things seemed to be here in Phoenix, how well we were doing. And I'm not sure that we're getting a lot of national attention, but here's this artist who's getting museum shows across the country, and she was energized by what she saw happening here. So I was really thrilled to fill her in and let her know that we are really connected here, and we have I think it's raw sometimes, I think it's stimulating, and I think that we work productively as a whole community. It's not perfect all the time, but I think it's a real positive here. Of course, and it's the thing that people talk about the most is the fact that we have this term limit. Because the characteristic of artist-run spaces in the past has always been the burnout, and how people get so unhappy by the time they leave. Well, how burned out do we get in 3 years? It happens, but it's not that bad. And I also think one of the things that we did in the beginning that was really highly functioning was we kept our expectations really low. We barely functioned most of the time, which was a real positive, because you don't want a meeting full of people sitting around going, we should do this, and we should do that, and we should do that, and then we'll do this. And none of that happens. Or one person feels really ambitious and wants to make a lot of suggestions, and they want other people to implement it. So if the main thing that you're trying to accomplish is to keep the doors open, and to have each of us responsible for our own month, and to help with somebody else one time during the year, and that's all you try to do, and you just keep it just as simple as possible, then it's highly functioning, in my opinion. So the low expectation thing is a real positive among creative people.
It's apathy. I mean, I think there are some people that are really excited to be here and they work hard on different projects, and then some just don't even work at all. So that's a question when you're voting someone in or not, is how much work they're going to commit to and be a part of it, because that's part of the community that I want, at least.
The expectations of the group and keeping that low, I'm starting to wonder just the opposite of creating something a little more and engaging people more. I've recently been humoring the idea of how do we take this collective and become recognized on a national level. Sure, we might be impressing ourselves, impressing the neighbors, maybe making a dent in the city, but how do we make enough noise, enough recognition, and enough impact that someone in New York City is going to say, hey, did you hear about that Eyelounge place?
Right. And the way you say it, the way I read that, hearing it, is that you would be part of that solution. Like, you're not just making that suggestion and floating it out in the air. You actually want to be part of that discussion and part of the energy that makes something possibly happen.
Right.
What a great goal that is.
Doesn't mean I have any answers for it. I'm looking for everybody else to just to throw that out and see what we can come up with. And maybe that's not something we come up with this year. It's, you know, it takes somebody else who comes along who has the vision to do it. I just want to plant the seed and see if it'll grow into something, because this is a tough time for artists now. So we got to do what we can to stay afloat.
Was that the being in the space was kind of like grad school without the bullshit, where you got to have this shared experience with your fellow artists and you got to watch each other develop, because after all, the first show is what you brought with you. The second show is you trying to best that last show, and then the third show is really important because this is the last show you're having. So you want to go out with a artistic bang, and you bond with all your fellow, you get to watch people have their show.
You have your own vision, and then you come in and you see what someone else has done with it. You're like, okay, you've just expanded my box here just a little bit more.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, these walls have seen a lot, haven't they?
Yeah.